Hello and welcome to DDOCast episode 599, recorded live on Sunday, May 17th. I'm your host, Patrick. With me this week, we have returning to the show, Nimvind.
Merry Nimbus.
Welcome back, sir. We also have Strimtom.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. Good to have you here. This week's screenshot, Albedo 1 stands triumphant on a spire of Castle Ravenloft in the 463rd screenshot of the week. Thanks for sending in this week's screenshot. Yeah, nice little, very nice mood lighting. Nice shades of gray. Very good. I particularly like the lightning bolt in the background. It's a nice touch. We like to talk about Dungeons & Dragons online nearly every weekend. You can catch us through Twitch, YouTube, the DDO forums, iTunes, or from our website at DDOCast.com. DDOcast is hosted by Cyber Ears, the awesome podcast hosting network, and shows are usually available within a few days of recording. The next show will probably be next weekend, and you can stay updated by following us on our social media pages or our website, DDOcast.com, with our calendar. On the podcast this week, we got some news and stuff. We're also going to do, we did this last hardcore season, we're going to do a post-mortem. So we're going to take a look at season 2 and how it went and what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, that kind of a thing. And hopefully, all of the technical difficulties I've been dealing with for the last half an hour are gone, and we won't deal with those. Fingers crossed. And no, Nimvind's light show is not technical difficulties. That is an intentional choice on his part. So there you go. That's where we're going today. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I think we'll just jump into the game news. There's not a whole lot this week. The big news is that Hardcore Season 2 is over. So the after party has begun. So we got some stuff we want to make sure we get out regarding that. So the leaderboards are solidified. I don't even think you can get back into quests anymore on there. I'm not sure.
No, you can't.
Yeah, they lock them all out, right? However,
Yep.
if your character had perished, you can go back and they can return to the land of the living, where you can access a bank and all of this fun stuff. So you can prepare those characters for a world transfer. Or you can delete them if you just want to delete them. That would be perfectly fine. So, Hardcore Season 2, Trial by Fire, the after party information and FAQ. They write, "Thank you for being a part of our second season of the Hardcore League. The after party will be available for players to get their characters' inventories sorted, items moved out of their shared bank, and do the other actions necessary before they do a full character database wipe of the Hardcore server. The after party will be available through May 31st. So you still have a couple of weeks. Actually, I think, 2 weeks. Pretty much on the nose. Similar to the first season, here is what you need to know. Notes on world character transfers. And this is actually true of all character transfers. This is not just related to hardcore. Your friends list will not go with you. Your ignore list will not go with you. Your guild level, guild name, level, airship, all of the above. Anything related to your guild will not go with you. You will appear in the New World guild list. Any items in your true reincarnation cache will not transfer. Items bid on or posted to the auction houses will not go. In-game mail won't go. Your shared bank and crafting storage, they don't actually explicitly call it out here, although it is sort of a third bank, but your platinum storage in your shared bank also doesn't go. Your astral shard balance does not go. I did see someone say that it went with them. I have not had that experience.
Me either. So
I think maybe they just didn't realize that they had that same number of shards on another server or something. That's the best I got there, because I've never had that do that for me. You cannot be the leader of a guild and transfer your character. So you will need to either promote someone to the successor, and have them take control or to leader or something, or you can disband your guild. If it was me, what I would do is I would just create a dummy character and make that the leader of the guild. So if anyone wants to get on the guild airship for some reason, they still can. Because it does kind of consolidate some amenities that maybe people want to go find. Also, if you disband the guild airship, I'm trying to remember what happens to characters. They just end up in a random place, right? Or do they end up in the water of the guild area? I
Yeah,
think that's what
so I know
happens.
that was a problem last league where like somebody's guild or they got kicked out of their guild, so they showed up in the water or they fell off of the ship like in the air
You're
and then
right.
they landed in the marketplace and died.
Yeah.
So,
So maybe don't do that.
I mean, it might not be such an issue at the post-mortem because you could just
Sure.
leave the undead area.
yeah, exactly. You'll be somewhere in Stormreach.
Pro tip for next hardcore season: don't log off on an airship. I have heard of people almost drowning in that space as well. But anyways, you cannot be logged into the game world while undergoing a character transfer. If you are, you'll be kicked from the game and receive an erroneous ban message. You aren't banned. This is just related to a technical mechanism put in place to prevent corruption during the transfer process. If your name is being used on the world you're transferring to, your name will be appended with a -1 or -2, as the case may be. And you'll be granted a one-time free rename credit while logged into the character you wish to change name of. Just type /change name and then with a space and then your new name into the chat panel to change your name. And I believe if that name is taken, it does not like just take out your use your. It just tells you can't pick that name.
Yep.
Let's see. You can transfer your characters through the game launcher. There's a guide for world transfers if you're interested in that. Please note, the Hardcore League requires VIP or Season Pass membership for access. This includes the after party time frame. So you can't, if you are not VIP or because if you had Season Pass, you'd still have it. But if you're not a VIP, you can still transfer the character. You just can't log into the world. So hopefully you took care of all that stuff you need to take care of. There you go. The one note about this is there were some problems. There were a number of failures coming from Hardcore transfers, so they have currently suspended transferring from Hardcore server.
Oops. I passed this note to Cordovan, and Cordovan passed it to the rest of the team. I was getting one of my live streams. I was getting reports that like, let's say you have 10 characters, like 9 of them will transfer. And some reason you will get a hashtag D4000 code. It'll be like D4001 or D449. It's one of those, and the email you get when you transferred characters. And I sent mine because I got an error on one of my characters, and someone else's error to Cordovan, and he sent it to the rest of the team. In a couple hours, they shut it all down.
Yeah. So not all is hunky dory there. They are giving a messaging that you have to have an open character slot to transfer a character. I have not had that experience. I've been able to transfer characters off core. This is true last season. I could transfer characters off of Hardcore onto another server and on a couple servers I have like 27 characters out of 22, and it doesn't appear to impede me from logging into any of those characters. It is like I can't create a character until I have an open slot, so I'd have to delete like 5 characters to create a new character on that server. But I did ask Cordovan about that a little bit, and he basically said that one of the reasons they're having that messaging is to minimize the potential for customer support tickets of, hey, I can't access this character.
Yep.
Stuff like that. I believe if you lose your VIP status, don't you you lose character slots and then it locks? You have to like pick which characters you can access or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Yeah, call a thing. That being a thing. not something I usually have to deal with unless for some reason I forget to update my credit card information, which has happened in the past. And it also won't let you pick the characters that you don't have access to. It's pretty clever like that. Yeah, we'll talk more about Hardcore Season 2, but anything else we need to talk about for the after party?
Make sure you do it before it's over.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of people that didn't pay attention, and then by the end of the league, they had all this stuff that they'd collected. So don't forget, don't put it off. Put an alarm on your phone before May 31st.
Make sure everything that you want from your shared crafting bank and your shared bank is on Tunes. And don't forget to, after or before you transfer, to liquidate all the useless junk that is treasure in Hardcore League, but nothing in your regular server into Platinum.
Yeah, that can help a lot. My thing that I did last year, and I will do as soon as I can transfer something, is to basically get everything off, and then leave a character there to keep rolling daily dice, and then I'll move that whatever that is at the end. So even if I miss that window, I've got most of what off of what I want to get off. So just kind of an easy way of doing it. Let's see. Bonus days. DDO bonus days brings you a treasure hunter boost +5 now through May 17th. That would be today. Treasure hunter boost it's +5 to the quality of your loot. It's not the level boost. It's just the charts that it rolls on. Get a little better quality loot. And it stacks with potions and stuff. Kind of that fun stuff. Store news. Autos boxes and Epic Autos boxes are back in the store through May 24th. So you got a little time there. And then the sale this week is Rise Again, 30% off of select reincarnation items, healing items, spell point potion. I think it's supposed to be Quest XP elixirs now through May 21st. Also, you can get a free 5-stack of Moderate Treasure Hunters elixirs, which, what is it, +10?
Yeah, that's the +10 to your loot rolls.
Yeah. So same as the Treasure Hunter boost, getting them all due in the same weekend. The coupon code is MOD5. That's probably one of the best coupon codes we've had in a while, I would say. So definitely get that.
Oh yeah.
I love how it's like matching pants and shirt, but like together it's as good as the big treasure hunter potion. Because aren't those 15?
Yep. I'm trying to figure out how I ended up with so many. I've got 105 of these, the moderate ones.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't. Or 101, I think. Which I think is more a reflection of how common they are in the daily dice. And how badly I am at remembering to use them. So
don't they come in a box too? Isn't there a box set?
So I think the maybe one of the newer boxes that had them in it or something, but
the traveler pack or something.
Yeah, the real story of why I have so many is I don't use them as often as I should. That's really what it comes down to. I'll remember. Oh, I should grab a couple. I'll eat. I'll grab a jewel and a treasure hunter elixir, and they last for 6 hours. So they last for a long time, and then I'll go do stuff, and then I'll forget, and I don't know. I just don't use them as often as I should. That's really what happens. Anyways, that's what we got there. Let's talk about community news. There's the 382nd Chronicle. The guild for the week. Ascendance is a small, close-knit guild emphasizing individual skill and group needs on Cannith that is looking for new members. The guild spends much of its time playing content on Reaper 10. So if you're looking for that, great way to get involved with that. Definitely not as scary as it used to be. A lot more of those groups going on. The comment, what are the most sensible shoes in Eberron? I feel like I need Mithri here to answer this question.
I mean, I think that probably if you're in Ebron at all, it's got to be the Cannith Boots of Propulsion. And you might think, because it's you can get secret places and other things, but there's so much scary stuff in Eberron in this whole world. You gotta get out of there. Doesn't matter if you're like a shopkeeper. It's like, oh, I'm getting burgled. Can't the boots of propulsion? You're safe.
I will actually agree, but also because not only because you can propulsion your way out of things, but there's so many places where you can fall down in this world, and it has featherfall on it too. So
And
it's like,
striding.
yeah, it's just like you could fall down in a tower in Shard. You could fall down into Kyber. You could fall down into a plane of madness. You wear featherfall boots, or at least the boots of propulsion, which covers everything.
Yeah, it's got the propulsion thing that you can use every 10 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes. Striding, featherfall, jump. It's all good things. I guess it does say Eberron. My immediate thought was the freedom of movement boots. But I guess that's in Ravenloft.
That's in Ravenloft, yeah.
Yeah. And there's I'll give a shout out to a couple other boots just for kind of gameplay. The ones in the Orcish Privateer boots in Three Bro Cove have fire absorption and striding and freedom of movement on it. It's a good combination as well. And the boots in Kind of a Big Deal that have electric absorption and striding, also a nice combination, and dodge. So that's a pretty good combination too.
Does when you think of the boots of propulsion, do you remember the Mario World movie, the Mario Brothers movie, when they had those boots on? That's the image that comes in my head every time I think of the boots of propulsion.
That's funny.
I try not to remember that movie as much as possible. It's not a good movie. Let's see. Fan site news. We got a shout out for our episode last week reviewing Update 46. DDO Players News gets Bacon and Hope in episode 261. The Damsels of DDO ran The Lost Gatekeepers and have fun in their 126th episode. DDO Stream is your first stop to find Twitch on DDO. Find DDO on Twitch. Wow. This week, find the shows from Doug Glendower, Psycho Blonde, and Shoemaker. Also on Twitch, hey, Strimtom travels to Sharn. Voodoo Spice teaches the Mark of Death. And Kiwi Hana plays an endgame favored soul. And on YouTube, D&D Night has DDO players playing tabletop. Geek Dragon runs The Lost Seekers, and Zulu runs in Korthos. A lot of fun stuff there. And of course, Cordovan is still doing his weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. He was on Wayfinder this week, and also he should do some Q&A there as well. That's some good stuff there. Some other videos. I did see Voodoo posted the teaching raid for Project Nemesis. So if you're interested in learning that raid's still fairly new. So if you want to get some information there on how to run it, it is a fairly complex raid. More so than most. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I still love that there is a wealth of strategies that you can employ and make decisions on that have meaningful impact to how well the raid goes, which is kind of nice. I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah, we actually shot that in 3 point of views, and we actually borrowed a tactic from you.
Oh, which one's that?
He's not letting us go into elemental rooms until after the emissary is dead.
Yeah, it's a good tactic, just because it minimizes how much you split up the party and maximizes how many people you have to deal with problems in the main room. So I really like that choice these days. It really makes the whole raid go a little easier.
Oh yeah,
because at that point you just have occasional trash and you're down to 2 of the bosses instead of 3 of the bosses, and yeah. You can bet your mileage may vary with that too, though. If you've got someone who's got some serious DPS and you're running it on an easier difficulty, you can send them into the first room and they'll be back before you even realize they're gone. So that.
Yeah, it all depends on your players too, because like when I'm on the laser, and if I communicate with the guy who has Urk's attention, I can actually get 3 bosses down before the emissary's up, and it's all we have is Zolkis.
Sure. depending on which one you get. We usually leave Gish till last, but that's us. But that's the fun part about that raid, right? Is you've got 4 bosses to deal with, and you can pick which order to go in, and there's meaningful reasons why you would want to pick one over the other. So
Yeah.
you can go round and round and round for days. What's the best order here to kill him in? So have a lot of fun with that. Although I would say that the correct answer is to get rid of the Minotaur as fast as possible.
Yes.
Because that jump, if it's at all laggy in that jump, is brutal. All right. Other stuff going on. D&D night on DDO stream Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, we're still looking for more players. If you want to play tabletop pen and paper with DDO quote celebrities, hey, we've got space for you. Come play with us. Be happy to have you. You can send me an email or get in touch with Cordovan or Evil Beaker. All 3 of us can get you plugged in. Or Nimvind can also help you get plugged in. And then see, DDOCast is still going. We finished The Lost Gatekeepers last week. It was a lot of fun. I don't know what we're going to do next, but we'll do something fun. And we'll probably get ourselves killed. All right, I think that's all I got for community news. Anything else? I don't think so. Okay. We've got a commercial that was sent in, so we're gonna go ahead and play that. This is from courtesy of Lessa. Please enjoy.
Hey there, citizens of Stormreach. Are you tired of your sentient gem constantly humiliating your gameplay in an English accent?
Yeah!
Why not let those left-handed remarks come from a different source that's closer to home but just as passive-aggressive? Yeah! That's right. We went down south and captured the soul of a Texas native to create the sentient gem of the cowboy. Your cowboy gem will deliver even the most innocuous sentences like,
I've learned how to play with a new toy.
or,
Well, aren't you just a real genius? God bless your little heart.
in a way that makes you think, you know, I don't think this gem really likes me.
I don't.
You'll bond with your gem over the failures of your party members.
If it weren't for stupid people, what would we laugh at?
When you're at the shrine,
I'm fitting to get ready to get up and do something.
or when you spot the enemy.
Okay, this could be dangerous. You go first.
Your cowboy gem can even tell when you're mounted.
Let's ride.
So call, or better yet, send several strongly worded letters to Standing Stone Games and demand your sentient gem of the cowboy today.
Yeehaw! Ride 'em, cowboy!
The sentient gem of the cowboy doesn't really exist, so, don't do any of those things, okay? Bye!
All right, thanks, Lessa, for that fun little commercial there. I'm not sure what the lore is for a sentient gem of the cowboy, but I'm on board with this.
It actually fits Eberron.
Yeah, all right. Go with it. All right. We're gonna jump into our hardcore season 2 postmortem. So we're gonna talk about all the how season 2 went for us and just kind of in general. I think we'll just start with generally. How did it go for you this season?
I think someone muted their mic.
Yes, sorry, I there's a big noise in the background. For me, I don't know. I had a lot of fun, but I will say I don't think I had as much fun as I did last season.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say that the large part, or the big part of that, and why it wasn't as fun, is because I was kind of focusing too much on getting those end game or like the goals, the favor rewards and the Reaper rewards, instead of kind of just having fun and making goofy characters and seeing, what kind of duration I can get out of some characters and what levels we can get to on some stuff. So overall, I still had fun, but I definitely put more pressure on myself this league than last league, and it kind of diminished some of the experience for me.
I feel like I did it's different, right? And the first time it took me probably a month and a week to get what I wanted done, and I had um like two serious deaths and a bunch of like bank tune deaths while waiting for my team to come on. This time I died 3 times trying to get to 20, and after my first death in a week I got my 5,000 favor and all that, and then died at the number 3 I feel like, yes, I agree with Strimtom. I took the fun out of Hardcore League and focus on trying to beat my last Hardcore League stint, and I end up doing worse than I did last Hardcore League.
Yeah, in some
Oh,
ways
yeah.
I did better. I did not die, actually. I managed to get through everything without dying. I tried pretty hard to die once or twice, and managed to survive that. And my group did have a very heart or soul crushing death of one of the people in my group died at like 4964 favor, which hurts.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I had fun, but it definitely was not as fun as season 1. And I think because it was, I think the novelty kind of wore off, right? Like I wanted some of the goals. The cloaks looked better. I'm really happy that I got the mount, mostly because I didn't buy the pack that had a mount for all of my characters. So now all of my characters have a mount, and that was definitely a more fun way to go about doing that than just going out and grinding and keep on the Borderlands. But I think definitely that because there was only about 3 months in between the seasons, and I finished season 1. I kind of stopped playing about a little over 2 months into that. So I had about 4 months off, and then started playing. But it definitely felt more like less like, hey, here's this fun novel thing, and here's this chore that I'm gonna go do and get these rewards. So I feel like it needed a little bit more time between them to really kind of let that fun factor come back a little bit more. So
I'm praying that I won't see another hardcore season until 2021.
I bet you won't, or I bet you will see one before then.
Yeah. I mean, I have the complete opposite opinion of you guys. I really like Hardcore League as a concept. I would actually rather see like a month of downtime in between and then have another
Yeah.
Hardcore League start up right away. Um, because it means that people who really enjoy the hardcore game mode, like I myself, I'm finding that end game and the grind and trying to get all your gear and gear up all your characters and doing raids. Raids are laggy. Gearing is frustrating because of ransack penalties. So it just there's all these stopping points. But making a new character and doing something is really fun. And
Sure.
the Hardcore League provides this opportunity to kind of just it's like almost like reincarnating, except instead of building this big grind on a character, you kind of just go, and if you die, you go, huh, well, that was kind of fun, and you do it again and again and again.
Depending on your level of care for your characters, then sure. Yeah, like I like the concept. I just don't think I had as much fun this time around because it wasn't. It's also fair to say that it was conflicting with a TR grind that I'm still working on. So there is some stuff that I was enjoying doing and working towards, and hardcore popping up in the middle of that was kind of a distraction from that, but not in the best of ways, if that makes sense.
My thing is the prizes. I want them to have more time to make up unique. I loved season. Okay, so the season 1 and season 2 had like things I liked and things I didn't like. Season
Sure.
1, I loved how the prizes were unique. I hated the detail, the amount of work they put in it because it felt like they just slabbed red on stuff and put like a skull and a 1 on it, and they're like, it's done. you know but in season 2 everything was beautiful and well done, but it was competitive to things that like I can cosmetic a helm I really like on my regular server that's better
Sure.
than this helm. The Reaper cloak was amazing, right? Out of all the prizes, the horse and the Reaper cloak were the best things out of here. But that shouldn't be it. In season 1, everything was was an amazing idea. It was just not super artistically done like it was in season 2. So if they can marry the two for season 3, if they need a couple months to do that, that'd be great. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I wouldn't mind just a month or two, because I only have a couple of lives to do on Nimvind before I'm bored. You know,
Roll an alt.
like yeah,
Yeah, the thing that I would like to see, well, actually, I'll hold that off till later because we're talking about that. Yeah, there's some ways they could go. So what did you like about this season?
I really enjoyed the new champions because they provided a really good amount of surprise. I'll say that on elite difficulty, you kind of almost didn't notice that they were different, or in some cases, it was actually easier because you didn't have Soul of Cruelty or the self-healing champs and all that stuff.
yeah.
But then once you stepped into Reaper mode, just things just start going crazy. You're like, oh, I'm just playing the game. Everything is cool. I'm gold now. And then your character is gold and you die because you can't do anything about it. And you forgot that
Isn't
was
the one
the
that
thing.
does the gold also a dot?
Yes. So it has the dot effect. It also turns you to gold. The gold effect can apply on anything. So it wasn't just melee attacks. It wasn't just like even damage. You could walk into a solid fog and get golded. So it was very cool. So
Yeah,
I liked it. It added an element of surprise and difference. And it kind of makes me wish I'd played more Reaper difficulty than the less amount that I ended up playing.
did you guys have the experience that the new champions seem to be easier on elite than the ones we have on live?
Yes.
Yes.
And that seemed to be a little deceptive. I felt going into Reaper because so they seem to be a lot hard. The jump between elite and Reaper seemed to be a lot more noticeable, I thought, with the champions than it is on live. I don't know that they were necessarily harder than the current batch that we have, but there's definitely more of a jump from elite to Reaper.
I would say that the hardcore league champions were definitely harder. I think without a doubt in my mind. They had a lot of unique effects. A lot of monsters had total immunity to status effects that you don't normally see. So like, guys that had all this crazy missile deflection, more monsters with immunity to different types of crowd control effects. They had less dot effects, so the outgoing damage was a little bit lower. But just in terms of how you interact with them, you have to be a little bit more careful. It's not just like mass hold fireball and go to the next pack. Because you do
Yeah,
that and have the monsters still kill you.
and for a while, a lot of their abilities were undocumented. So you like just seeing these new champions for the first time was like, examine window.
Yep, you got to write everything down again.
The first time I saw him, I almost died because the first champion I saw, I was like, wait, that's a different. And then I saw another one, and then I was like, oh, what's this? And I started examining, like, health, trying to get myself killed because I'm completely distracted by what I was seeing. Yeah, I would like to see it. I really like that idea that the champions change, and I really hope that they take that to live, to the main servers, because I think that would be really fun and interesting and kind of shake things up a little bit.
I agree. I'd like to see more champions and different types of rotations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing rumors about they have big plans for season 3, and I would also like to see them try to do this with Reapers. Wouldn't that be unique to have different Reapers in hardcore mode?
Yeah, it would be awesome. And then you have no idea.
Yeah, it's just all like, what is this?
But I hope they don't just leave that to only hardcore, right? Like, I would love to see those new champions populate on live, even if it like you could replace them all, or they could just be added to what they could be. Either one, I think, would be fine. I think, and if they add more Reapers to Hardcore Season 3, I'd love to see them do something like that for, like, put them into the live servers. Maybe wait till after the season. That would be fine. But I think I love the variety that it put in there, and it made it a lot of fun. That was one of the things that really stood out to me in terms of this was fun, is having these different champions and different experience to playing from live. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd like to see them rolled into the base game, but after the season is over, you don't want to have a situation where we learn everything we need to know about hardcore and how to beat all of the champions by playing it on the
Sure.
softcore servers, figuring out what they do, and then taking that information over. That just doesn't. It's not in the spirit of hardcore.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I can buy into that.
They have the ability, because we have a chaos champion, the one that can have random effects and so like if they can just generate at least 100,000 effects, right? And they can just like, oh, a champion is generated, give it a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 ability, and just throw it out there. That way it's like a mystery champion every time.
I mean, I
But
like the theming, and the
I-
theming
I-
so you kind of know what ish they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, the randomness is a cool idea, but I feel like in a lot of cases, being able to plan feels like more fair. Like the
Yeah.
random champ only having one of them being random, I think is maybe okay. But the more randomness you add into it, the more times you just get killed by some impossible combination.
Have a limbo
yeah,
themed champion.
I believe Severlin, I once said he likes to punish people for not being prepared. So
Yeah.
like I doubt they're ever just gonna not like, oh, I'm gonna punish you for logging on. That doesn't sound like the spirit of SSG.
No. I like to think of it less as punishment for not being prepared and more of a reward for being prepared. But yeah. Something else I noticed of season 2, it definitely seemed like people did better just in general. Like the leaderboards, at least the favor leaderboard, went up a lot faster this time around.
Yeah, there's more people on the favor leaderboard and less people on the Reaper leaderboard. I think it's indicative of like many layers of problems. And I tried to get the 400,000 Reaper XP, but it's you run into, again, it's the frustrations of like sort of like the regular game coming back. Gearing at the end game is fun, except if you're running quests that are difficult to get the gear, so you want to run.
You just muted yourself again. Strimtom, you muted yourself. I'll just jump in here while he's figuring that out. Yeah,
It's all screwed.
oh, there you go.
But I was just saying that there's the issues that came up when you're trying to farm out and get the right gear. You're farming the gear on difficulties that are probably higher than you can handle. So you have to be really slow and really careful and hope no one in your party dies.
Yep.
And then you do that and you get like a full party of 6 and you have everybody doing rerolls and people are not getting the gear that they need. So you have to take a break and come back a week later and do the same thing again. And it gets like just like mind numbing at some points. And so then once you get all that, then you have to log in every day and do your Reaper dailies and stuff. I think there was one person that got the 400k by just TRing, which may in fact be the more fun but much more risky way of doing it. But oh man, it's just once we finished farming the actual gear, it was so hard to get motivated to go and
Yeah.
do the Reaper XP farming now because you're just tired from ransacking a quest like 2 weeks in a row and getting nothing.
I wanted that Reaper cloak so bad. I'm so sad I didn't get it.
It's a great cloak. I definitely found I was a little shocked of how much I didn't like doing Reaper XP in epics. And we actually TR'd and went back down to heroics because it was just more fun to do it at those levels. And it was less stressful. It was like we found, I think we kind of found our happy place that, Elite R1, R2 was kind of, depending on the quest, is kind of where we're thinking of going for season 3. There was a noticeable it was kind of surprisingly noticeable. Like R2 to R3, how many more Reapers we were getting. Then we kind of settled into R2, and it just we seemed to be doing fine, and nothing was terribly scary, and just kind of found the right balance there, I think. But yeah, the part about going into epics, like the Reaper XP up there is a lot better, but I really found that the build I made for favor and heroic levels didn't translate well into epics at all. And the just not having, you have to also kind of grind up your destinies and stuff, and it just stopped being fun. It's also probably part of the reason why season 2 wasn't as fun for me as season 1 was. But we got there, and it wasn't as fun, but I still enjoyed myself. Definitely felt more chorish, but
myself on the Reaper end, I got a tune from 1 to 20, and I had 6 Reaper points by the time that was over, and I was like, I'm going to TR and do it again, but with a better build. And I moved, and my laptop's trackpad, which is basically my mouse, got damaged. So when I was trying to do Stealthy Repo, I missed a ladder, and a Carnage Reaper was like, "Big mistake, Mother Jumba," and it was over.
yeah, that can happen. I mean, there's definitely more risk because you're getting less Reaper XP right at those lower levels. But I think there's a lot of choices you can make on how to do it. The people in the last 2 seasons that have had a lot of success in Reaper XP ground out epic level stuff and started doing epic level Reaper stuff. And it worked really well for them.
Well, we did it in one day. Like literally, we got everybody geared finally at level 30. People had their epic destinies and stuff, and then we did one round of a whole bunch of quests on Reaper 4, and we went from 0 to 140,000 Reaper XP.
Yeah.
In like 4 hours.
Yeah, if you do all of that groundwork, it can be really effective. I found doing that groundwork really soul crushing and not fun.
Honestly, if Ransack wasn't a problem, it would have been fine. I can grind and do stuff, but and I understand it for like raids, how they have like the 3-day timer, so you have to repeat your raids and all that. But the Ransack in the base game, it's so irritating when you spend the money on the shards and you have a whole group, and I understand like the solo complaint, but you have 6 people,
sure,
and they're all rolling, and you can't get an item to drop, and the thing ransacks.
Yeah.
It makes you just want to quit DDO entirely, like literally uninstall the game and never play again.
RNG does not smile upon you, sir.
Yeah.
This season, I spent 11 hours trying to get my farm boots from Ravenloft, and I actually had to hope other people run the quest and hope that they will pass me the boots out of the kindness of their heart for helping them through Death House.
Sure.
And on the 11th hour, I stayed up. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I would not quit until I get these boots. I was beyond ransack. I really think that if they're going to continue doing this hardcore thing, they should just like ransack exempt this server.
Yeah, they should just take ransack off of Hardcore League, 100%.
Or even if they just had a store item that was, about the same cost as a raid timer, just reset your chest ransacks. Might be an option.
Sure. Yeah, just clear it all away. Just something. They need a solution to this problem.
Yeah.
Anything else you did or didn't like about this season of Hardcore?
Like I said, I liked it. I liked it more than last Hardcore League because we got the new champions and stuff. I liked a lot of the cosmetics. The bone helmet is really cool and unique because of the placement on your character. I think that's one of the things I liked it a lot, especially if you look at some of the races that don't wear helmets quite as well, like Dragonborn. I think it looks really good on. Same thing with the Tieflings because of the horns and how it interacts.
Yeah.
So I actually thought it looked really great. I didn't like it at first, but then it started to grow on me more. I am sad that they didn't do the alternative cosmetics like the toggleable ones, where there was the eyes or the feet. I thought the feet was really cool as an idea, and I thought maybe they could expand upon that either in the store with new colors that you could buy or something, or a new effect for the next league. and we haven't heard anything about that and seen it, so kind of miffed about that. But the horse is good, so
I actually had a
looking forward to it.
conversation with Cordo about the toggleables. They decided not to go there because they're like, I don't think people like going through their feetless. And I'm like, no, we love it.
I definitely like going through my feetless instead of my as they're like more fuller and fuller inventory.
Yeah.
Exactly. And another thing is that like you're doing like the whole point of this is to get unique things, right? And I feel like these I use the word competitive rewards. Like, oh, I got a horse, but in a couple years I'm going to have a hippopotamus with wings that I can write about. Or this is that's not really going to happen, but it might. And I will never whip this horse out again.
Sure.
One day I'm going to get a cloak that's going to like make me look handsome, and then I'm never going to use this cloak again. I'm going to get a helmet that's going to give me Wi-Fi, and then I'm never going to use this helmet again. It's like I don't like the whole competitiveness of these rewards, though I love the detail they put into these rewards.
Right.
I love the uniqueness of season 1 reward, but I did not like how much detail, how the lack of detail went into them. So I agree with Strimtom. I want more toggleable, unique stuff, cosmetics that work with other cosmetics, so that way they don't compete, they don't conflict. It's all harmony of beautiful, sparkly eyes and butterflies coming out of my back or something.
I would like to see them too make it so that on any given hardcore season, say that you hit the 5,000 favor, and then the vendor would let you pick, okay, do you want the season 1 reward, the season 2 reward, the season 3 reward? Right, give us an option there. I think I would really like to have that.
To be able to go back to the previous seasons and
Right.
get the rewards.
So if you miss season 1 in season 3, let's say you got 5,000 favor, you could say, I don't really want this, whatever that favor reward is. I want the feat.
See, there's two problems with that. One, you're cheating yourself out of season 3's reward. But if you don't like
Well,
it,
you
then
can
you
do
don't
it
like
again.
it.
Like if you got 5,000 favor again with another character, you can get another one. I'm not. What I'm kind of reacting to is I don't like the idea that you can never ever get this again.
But that's what makes it like the reason you want to farm for it right now and not like later, because you want to get in and play, and it draws the hype because it's an exclusive reward that you can
Sure.
only get right now. So that bone
Well,
horse,
I think you can still do it, and that you can only get it from hardcore. But people, because I have the feat, right, and I go around and people say, "Oh, that's cool. How can I get that?" I'm like, well, you can't.
exactly, you can't.
But
You can't.
that's not fun to tell people. And I
But
think
it's
you
not
would
supposed to be
I think it would actually drive more people to hardcore in later seasons if people could get something there. If you still have a new reward, there's still a reason for you to go there.
Yeah, but I can't get. There's tons of exclusives that many people can't get. Pre-orders for expansions and all
people
sorts of
don't
stuff.
like that a lot. Like that's a common thing that comes up.
Well,
I'm just saying.
The silver dragon armor is kind of like a sore spot for me.
yeah, it's the silver dragon armor. It's really cool, and I'm glad I bought it.
Lucky.
It's that I agree in the sense that it feels bad to see something that you are unfortunately unable to get. I've been playing a couple other games, and when you see people with cool mounts and other things, that it's like, oh well, this content doesn't exist, or you can't get this anymore. It kind of feels bad, but there's going to be more new stuff in the future.
Sure.
It's not like you won't be able to get other new stuff that's cool in the future.
It does put a carrot at the end of the stick. Like you let's say you're a new player and you're like, wow, bloody footprints. How do you get that, Strimtom? You can't. You had to been around the last year for hardcore season 1. Whoa, what's hardcore? It's a server VIP. Oh, I'm gonna get VIP today, right now, just for season 3. Oh, I'm gonna work hard on season 3 to get my cool reward, and then I'm gonna tell a new player, hey, guess what? You can't have this.
I don't know. I don't see a huge benefit to saying that you can't ever get it again. As long as there's a new reward, I don't see how that. Comparing the two options. If season 3 comes out, you can only get season 3 rewards. People who want season 3 rewards are going to go there. If you can also get season 1 rewards, you will have people who want the season 3 and the season 1 rewards go there. You just have more people. Like, I don't see how that doesn't result in more people playing it.
I don't think that they're ever never gonna get this. I don't think they're gonna get the exact this, because the way I'm not like naming names. I don't want to put anyone out there, but they're like, we just look at whatever the artists were doing around on their downtime, and we just pick those things as rewards. And I'm like, oh, so these bloody footprints can come back as black footprints, right?
Sure.
Like, or they could come back as muddy footprints as a different kind of reward. Like maybe they won't ever get red footprints, but you know, if they ever need a reward for something, they're probably going to take it, flip the color, and then be like, bam, yeah, here's some muddy footprints. Welcome to the muddy footprint reward.
Yeah, I understand again that there's going to be more people that would want to get things in the future, but uh, like the exclusivity is what drives people to want to play in the first place. I kind of think of it like even something as simple as the champion hunter, right? The champion hunter shows up, and you can get the eternal flasks, and those are great. So you can either save up your remnants for when that guy shows up, or instead of saving up your remnants, you can spend them, and then when he comes around, you have to hope you can grind enough to get the effect. Um, and is it really fair that when the champion hunter isn't around, you can't buy those things? Like,
Well, but he comes back. It's not. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that's not exclusive. He comes back, and you can buy that in the future. You know that you can get it in the future. That's kind of
well,
my
like
point.
I don't know. I think of them as very similar. Like if you can't manage to find the time to play during the exact same time when the champion hunter is around, then you run into the same problem continuously.
No, because I know that the champion hunter is going to come back.
Well, it is a courtly event, and sometimes they've been known to skip over, like, oh wait, we forgot to do a mimic event this quarter. You know, like, it I think comparing hardcore league prizes to event rewards is kind of hard. I like to compare, and this is gonna make me look like the villain of DDO, but that would make me a really good expansion boss. Is not everyone out there is eventually going to get a Lamborghini. Not everyone out there is eventually going to get an iPhone 10. There's going to be go getters, and there's going to be people that can't go get, and that's just sad. And it's always going to be sad, and it's not supposed to be happy. And that's just it. It's supposed to be some kind of motivation. It's supposed to be kind of some tests, and it's supposed to be kind of fun. That's what Hardcore League is. Hardcore League is not first grade soccer team.
Sure.
Yeah, like I think of it a lot like a lot of the competitive games or something like League of Legends. They have their ranking system, and at the end of the season, if you ranked so high, you get a special skin for one of the characters that's got like a cool effect for it, but it's exclusive and you can't get that because if you didn't play in 2013, you can never get that cool character skin for that character. Um, it's the same kind of thing here. It drives people to at the time get the effect. Um, and then
Now,
you have
there's always going to be future hardcore leagues. Like I really wanted the Reaper cloak this season, and because I missed it, and because I really want it, that gives me hope that season three's Reaper cloak is going to be better, right? Like it's going to be
Sure.
cooler. If I'm not going to get this one, I'm going to get next ones. And if next one end up being lame, then maybe season four. There's always a future season that they're gonna provide a prize. It's you could pick and choose when to be active, when not to be active, what's worth your time, what's not worth your time. The past is in the past, and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Like, you know, the idea that if you didn't play for Hardcore League, that then, in 4 Hardcore Leagues from now, you can just spend a bunch of time and grind out a bunch of characters and get all of the rewards of all of the past Hardcore Leagues. It just seems weird and out of place. I don't know.
Maybe, but I tell you, if I could have gotten the pet from season 1, I probably would have tried. I didn't care about the pet for season 2. I didn't like it.
Yeah, me
So,
either.
I would have played hardcore season 2 more if I could have gotten a season 1 reward for the pet. So, something to think about. I think we kind of talked a little bit about this, but what did you guys find was easier? What did you guys find was more difficult from season 1?
I actually found everything was more difficult, especially at the
Interesting.
beginning, because I feel like there was like more lag problems at the beginning of this season than last season.
Oh yeah, lag was bad
It was
this
like
season.
brutal, and I lost my first 2 characters at 17 and 19 to lag, and it was very, very disheartening. So that was not as cool. Very hard for me.
You know what I found easier? Like I agree, lag was way like there were someone kept on trying to like what do you call it, Mandela effect me on the lag. They're like, oh, it was bad last season too. I'm like, no, this feels uh, but you know what I found easier was finding groups. I had to solo or short person a lot of raids last season. This season I was able to fill out way easier.
But yeah, people were leveling a lot better this season. I found there's more people at higher levels, more people doing stuff. Especially when you got to like the 15 to 19 bracket, you could pretty much always fill a group within minutes.
There was less of a people had already gone through the learning curve.
Yeah, I figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, well, that's true because getting to 5,000 favor in season 1 for me was actually like a solution that I need to find, or a problem I need to find a solution for. This season it was like, okay, bam, I did it in 7 days, and I didn't even want to do it
There
because
was
I
more
had a
favor
horse
too.
on. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true, but I didn't even want the horse because I had a horse. I'm like, I it's not like I sit in front of like the marketplace with my horse to show off. I have a Borderlands horse. I was looking at it as transportation, right? But then I died in my live stream doing something that I know I could do, and everyone was like, "That's what you get for doing TOEE Part 1." And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come back and do all of TOEE, and I'm going to come back and do everything. And you guys have to watch. Like you're not allowed to not watch. This
Sure.
is what you get for telling me I can't do TOE Part 1.
There's definitely quests that are more dangerous. I did Temple of Women Part 1.
I did 1 and 2. I actually killed 4 people on 2.
Yeah. 2's a lot harder. A lot more dangerous. I will say the favorite part was a lot easier this time around because they added Borderlands, which is 8 quests at I don't know, like 60 to 100 favor right there.
Yep.
Which meant that at the end of it, there was a lot more choices about what kind of favor what we could do or not do.
The Gatekeeper's Grove came out right in the middle of
Yeah.
season 2.
So there's more quests there that are low level that you can do, and the favor part's only going to get easier. It'll be interesting to see if they move that benchmark. I could see maybe moving the favor benchmark, maybe. Although maybe not the 5,000 favor one, but maybe the 1750, move that up to 2,500. I could see maybe doing that.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't seem like the Reaper XP benchmarks need to move right now.
No,
It doesn't seem.
I think they're
the favorite.
I think that
like the 5,000. It's not so much that it's like, oh, it's not hard to get because it's easier to get because there's more favor. That's true, but it still takes like 140 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have to be level like 19 to get it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
well, we hit.
the
I hit 19, and I was
1750
I think like 3,000 favor. Like I still had.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot to
the
do.
1750 you're about around Shadow Crypt level if I calculated right. And on top of that, if you notice, all the favor rewards are matched with tome favor rewards. So at
True.
1750 you get your +2, and then 5,000 you get your plus whatever.
It's true.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking they would probably add in like an intermediary leveling reward, like a level 10 reward or something very minor. But like,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Maybe it's even like not even like a cosmetic, but just like a consumable. Like you get like an XP potion or something like that. Just something
I
simple.
like this idea. I like
It,
that
it
idea.
needs to be done, because one
good to give up.
thing, yeah, they're like on level 10 is actually a wall, right? Like there's a you Strimtom and I, or Strimtom you and I, or whatever, we get to 20, and it's like, yeah, but there's actually a whole like 80% of our population that actually has a hard time getting to level 9 alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of
Give them
adding
a
small
incentive.
consumable kind of stuff there, that like a level 10 and a level 30 reward are kind of low hanging fruit. You could definitely say that maybe on the favor side, 1,000 favor and 2,500 favor would also be kind of low hanging fruit. Kind of some options. I'm not sure what those consumables would be, but I like the idea. Maybe get
Yeah,
It would
like
be
something simple.
yeah, like an XP potion or a guild renown potion or something, like maybe make it so that a character can go pick you can on each server you can pick one potion or something if you hit that reward, or I don't know. I like the idea though.
a divine intervention potion.
A Jack Jibber, if you hit 6,000 favor, you can get a Jack Jibber's blade, one per server.
Yeah, get out of jail free card.
That could be interesting too if you hit like 2,500 favor on hard. I kind of talked about this thing last time, that if you hit 2,500 favor, here's a get out of the get another life. Could be interesting.
Get a life.
Yeah.
You get a degree and you start becoming like an insurance salesman.
No, I mean like you get out of the penalty box, right? You get another life to live.
I know, as the wording made
Kind
me
of.
laugh.
Yeah. I think there's some interesting stuff you could do there. I kind of like that thoughts there. Anything you guys want to say about the rewards? I think we kind of already covered our thoughts on them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care too much about the cosmetic pets. So the 400k Reaper XP is something that I find like I want to grind because I want to
The
tell
benchmark
myself
is
I
there.
can do it.
Yeah.
Like I want to prove to myself that I can do it every league. But like the dretch sucks. It just doesn't look good. It sounds terrible.
Sure.
So at least the Reaper is like at least silent, so it just kind of follows you around. But I don't like the dretch at all.
Yeah, my mascot is my little scarecrow, Joseph the Scarecrow pet Larry. So unless they're going to come out with a better scarecrow pet one of these seasons, I have no motivation to go up there. Kudos on the Reaper cloak this season, instead of just redoing the Night Rebels cloak with an emblem on the back.
Both the cloaks looked great.
Yeah, but I want the uniqueness of season 1 with the detail of season 2. That's pretty much the short recap of what I feel.
Did anyone figure out what the tail is on the level 20 cloak?
I believe that the whole theme is war. You know how in Forgotten Realms lore. Oh yeah, you don't know lore. So the devils and demons are in an eternal war, and in Eberron, Shavrath is the realm of war. So a lot of angels and devils hang out there. So the thing that's hanging off your back is a probably a body part of someone who's fallen into this devil or demonic or angelic war. That's why the dretch is armored up. That's why your horse is armored up, and that's why the helm you're wearing fits well with tieflings and stuff, because it probably used to belong to their great granddaddy that lost his life in a war. You know, like it's all about devil warfare.
Yep.
So
yeah, I thought it was just like the spine of like a devil or something.
Looked like it
'cause
was
they all
a
have tails.
tail or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Did you have any? Did you learn any new lessons in Hardcore Season 2?
Yes. I mean, not really. I'm not sure. I don't think I really learned too much. I found that the things that killed me the most were lag. I learned that spawn screen prevents you from taking strength damage from shadows. I did not know that. It's not super helpful because in all the quests where there's lots of shadows, like the shadow crypts, the monsters permanently just spam cast dispel magic on you the whole time.
Annoying?
So it's very annoying. But
yeah, there's a lot of things that you can be annoyed by from enemies, like knockdown effects and Dispel Magic is up there. Surprise! It's a sneaky one. You don't think about it very much, but it's a sneaky annoyance.
I learned if it's not the favor rewards but favor clout that you want, aim for 6,000. And if you want to get Reaper points, park a tune at level 30 and pike people who finally are doing R4s.
I did some of that.
Yeah,
I almost got
I
myself
think
killed doing it, but I did some of that.
I think I did learn a little bit, which is like kind of like the routing and how I'm going to do it. I learned I can level a character from level 1 to cap in 3 days. So I think what I'm going to do next league is just do that, just get a character all the way to level 30 in the first 3 days, and then slowly do the Reaper XP instead of trying to push it all into one session or like try to cram it in. Just slowly do it as people level up and get that stuff, so that way you don't have to worry about ransack and getting stressed when you're not pulling items. You actually have the whole league to figure it out.
Sure. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I got a different. I came up with a different build that I'm gonna, different tank build that I'm gonna go for next time. That includes trapping skills. Instead of a bear tank. The bear tank is good, but I think it has some noticeable weaknesses, like it doesn't use scrolls very well.
Renegade Master Maker is amazing.
That's kind of where I'm going. So my next time I'm gonna do a artificer, either a fighter or paladin, and then possibly a level of wizard. And go back to that tank build, which I've done before. And I think it has more utility to it that I think will be very helpful to what I want to be able to do in hardcore. Because at that point, you know, I've got a tank and a trapper, and that's a really strong combination to start with. And then a friend with that's a healer, and go to town.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play Fire Sorcerer again. I didn't play Fire Sorcerer for the first little while, and then I played Bear Druid and Bard, and all these things were fun. And then I had my Bard at 30 and fully geared, and we needed more damage. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just play Sorcerer. So I made the Sorcerer on Wednesday, and then by Saturday I was level 30, and I was like, well, all right, I'm gonna do this next league. This is way better.
Yeah, right. All right, what do you want season 3 to look like? We're gonna end there. Anything you want to see that you haven't mentioned for season 3? I like the theme, the theme idea, so I'm interested to see what they go with there. I will say this may be my fault, but I was Cordovan and I had and a couple of people had a conversation that revolved around: would you want the mimic hunt in hardcore? And my response was yes, but do it in a way that make it a theme, right? So if you had a theme of it was mimics, so there was if the chance for chest to be mimic was like really low, like 5%, and then it was always on, and you had things, champions that were kind of mimicky themed and stuff like that. I think that, but I would be interested to see like a theme kind of like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. To take the theme idea that we did for this one with Eretrikos and the Devil War, and expand on that and do another similar theme like that. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the themes. So for me personally, I like the fact that Aerotracos was the guy and the champions all lined up. So even something simple like new champions, just anything to if they do another league like this where they just change up a couple little things, I'll really enjoy that. So that's pretty much it. And in terms of like the mimic event and other events, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. Give me all of the events, or don't give me any of the events. I don't want to have mimic hunt, but then when the Halloween event comes around, you can't do that or something like that.
I would just be clear. I wasn't thinking of in terms of like turning the mimic hunt on. I mean, like that would be the theme for.
Oh, like the whole thing would be
the
mimic
whole
the entire
thing
time.
would be the mimic theme. So instead of Eretrikos, it would be a mimic, a big mimic or something like that, and it would always be on, and the rewards would be kind of mimicky themed or.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That kind of thing. You know how like this time there was a skull.
Mhm.
They changed the skull, so like the skull could be a mimic skull. I don't know if mimics have skull, but you kind of like have mimics be the theme instead of
Yeah.
devils.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Technically, they're part of the Ooze family, but that's lore. What I like to see, I kind of like I kept on bringing this up to Cordo on the Wednesday live streams. I'm like, is every season gonna have a new host? I like this idea that like it's kind of like anime-esque in a way where like, oh, first season the Reapers are like hardcore, we want your souls, permadeath, and then Eritricos made a deal and or betrayed the Doom Reaper that was running it and he took over. And then like let's have Malicia be like, oh yeah, I sent him on a wild ghost dog chase, now it's succubus theme. And then like Jeets comes in. He's like, "Oh, I tried to marry her and she ran away. Now I'm running Hardcore League," and just like keep have the guy from Dreaming Dark come by and he's like, "Yeah, I took over Jeets' brain. Now I'm running Hardcore League." And then let's Strahd comes by. He's like, "I know the dream, but now I run Hardcore League." And then just like keep on having this whole anime tournament thing where the big bad is just like, let's run a tournament and I will fight you at the end, Goku. And then it'll just be fun and just keep the themes. But he's like, we don't know if we're gonna settle on that or not. Or I'm like, oh, if I see Eritricos again, I'm like, hey, just clocking in at work, Eritricos. No, I want the theme to change with the host. I want it to be like we kicked Aerotricos out, and now we're running Hardcore League. Matter of fact, that's why we even have a Hardcore League, is because we took over and we want to do it our way.
I think there's a lot of room for themes, right? Like you could do a lot of like the mimics is a really easy one. You can do a pirate one. I'm not sure what that would look like necessarily, but a pirate one could work. The abbot could be an interesting, like what would the world look like if the abbot was the host?
I want to see all the big bags get a turn before we get into like general themes, like the abbot, the guy from Dreaming Dark, Malicia, like all the returning big bags.
I like the theme, and I'm interested to see what they do theme wise and kind of explore what they can do with themes. And but also have it have impact to gameplay. Like the devil theme, the only thing it really changed was the champions, which was great. But the mimic one the reason why the mimic one kind of stands out for me is like because it changes the gameplay a little bit more, right? Like, oh, suddenly the chest can be a mimic sometimes, low chance, but it could be a mimic sometimes. But what other ways could things happen? There's like maybe if the abbot was the host, maybe there was a small chance that creatures can come back as an undead version or something. I don't know, something to just kind of like spice up the play style a little bit to shake it up and make it a little more interesting or challenging.
Well, I was kind of hoping that like they would be more consistent with some of the theming. Like when I originally bought the season pass, I was thinking like, oh, that's kind of cool. They have like a whole season idea. So let's just say like they sell one every year or something like that, and they go, okay, well we sell this season pass, and it's the season of like Frost or something, and then the two hardcore leagues that happen are related to the overall season. And then when you move to the next season, like it's so that people that aren't playing in hardcore can still feel like they're a part of this whole season or event thing. So it's like more holistic with like both sides of the game.
That can work.
Or the other thing they could do with theming too is you were talking earlier about changing the Reapers up. Maybe some of the Reapers are a thematic monster instead. Maybe some stuff like that. I'm not sure how much they have time to make those tech changes, but what would it look like if while you're doing this season, instead of a Reaper, you had a Devil pop up?
It would have been even funnier if the just replace Reapers with reskin ghouls and call them developers, and just like have developers come and attack you.
You mean like the anniversary event?
Yeah.
Sure. Anything else you guys want to say about Hardcore Season 2?
I depending on the rewards, I might change my play pattern for next league. Because one of the things I really enjoyed of the first league is just making a new character almost every week and just trying something dumb. And one of the most fun things I did this league, was my brother and I tried to do the 6 con life, where you have to make a character and you have to start with 6 cons. So you got to be some type of elf, and you can't wear any con items, you can't wear any health items, and you can't put any enhancement points into anything that gives you con or health. And the goal is to get to 20. And it was really, really fun because you're
Did
sitting
you
there at
make
like
it?
level 6 with like 50 health or something, right? And it was fun. It was exciting. We unfortunately didn't get to finish because there just wasn't enough time left in the league, because we spent so much time doing all the grinding. And I think potentially for me next league, I might just like no favor rewards. I don't care. No Reaper rewards. Just make goofy characters and have fun with it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Hardcore in general now. Depending on the rewards, I will play this way or that way. Looking forward to season 3. That's all I can say about season 2.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, let's close out the show. Thanks for being here. Strimtom, you want to plug your stream and stuff?
Yeah. So you can find me at twitch.tv/StrimTom. I'm there every Monday and Thursday, and sometimes also other days when I get peer pressured by people telling me that I should stream on Twitter. And also, I'm uploading my YouTube videos every week on the same thing, youtube.com/StrimTom. That's me.
Nimvind?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Nimvin and on YouTube under Nimvin Dirge Singer. That's Dirge and Singer, well, one word. And yeah, I also have like other things, but those are the main 2. Oh, and the High Lords of Malkir are doing teaching raids every Saturday. You can see what that's all about in the Solona forums on the official DDO site's forums.
You guys got, what, about another month of that?
I don't know. I'm not really a part of that unless they ask me to. So I'm like, I try to plug it in to help out Voodoo, but like that's
Sure.
really not. My cubicle is over there. That cubicle is over there.
Sure. Well, thanks, guys, for joining me, and thanks to all the contributors for DDOCast, and to Standing Stone Games and Wizards of the Coast, and to Cyberreaders for hosting the podcast. If you'd like to support the show, you can visit our website, DDOCast.com, or you can support us on Patreon. If you have a DDO-themed webpage, or you Twitch DDO and you'd like to be featured on our website, you can email us at DDOCast@gmail.com. Hit us up at DDOCast.com for show notes, MP3s, our calendar, previous shows, and other fun stuff. And if you'd like to be part of the show, you can leave a comment on anything we're talking about, a question you'd like to hear us answer, or a topic you'd like to hear us discuss. Or if you just want to say hi, you can leave a comment or email us, DDOcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media and follow us for the latest cast updates. At DDOcast on Twitter is the best place. So may all your attack rolls be crits, all your chest level appropriate, have fun, and don't forget to gather for buffs.